Happy Thursday, happy TIMBP Live. Welcome back. We are here. Things are rolling, things are moving. We have made it to another week. Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're having a good time. Hope you've been... I don't know. Hope you've been. You know what I mean? I don't know why my chat commands are not working. Because they should be working on YouTube. And they're just not. Well. Okay then. Hang on. We got this cool new thing on StreamYard too, where you can see chat right on screen. Which is nice. I mean, I could easily do that on my own as well, but StreamYard's got it baked in, so I figured I may as well use it. But regardless, we're here. We made it. Folks are starting to trickle in. Appreciate you being here. Like I said, hope you've had a good week. Hope things are looking good in your favor. And, yeah. It's a very quiet night tonight, it seems like. Because nobody was interested in a turkey stream tonight. Hit the like if you're watching on the replay. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. And if you want to support the show while we are here, you can do so by heading to the pinned comment at the top of your chat, whether you are on Twitch, whether you are on YouTube, and hitting that Stream Elements link. We call those Snuffy Chats because they are in support not only of the show itself, but also in support of the patron saint of TIMBP Live, Mr. Snuffleupagus. He's real, I believe, you believe, we all believe. Helps us out tremendously. Personal news-wise, boy, let me tell you, it's been a banger week. Monday. Getting, Eden, my oldest, is getting ready for bed. And I'm hanging out in Ella's room with her. And she's playing on the floor a little bit. And she starts just kind of going, so we had our first word from the 8-month-old this week, which is bonkers. And I'm very happy that it was dada, because Eden's first word was mama. So I got this one. I got one. What's going on, Emily Chambers? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. First chat of the evening. Hey, yo, Jason. Good to see you, brother. It's awesome. Mom won, Dad won. Oh, yeah. And that's it, man. That's it. We're done after 2 kids. I know I've said that before, but you know, competition is going. We're finishing up. We're finishing up tied. You know what I mean? We're all done. We're all done. I'm just happy I got one. And Lucy said too. She was like, I didn't push too hard for Mama with Ella because I got Mama with Eden, and I was like, you know what? It's all good. It's usually Dad to have first, easier to say. Yeah, and the fact that it was Mama with Eden was crazy. But I don't know. It just happened that way. And she definitely says Mama the most. So it is what it is. But regardless, yeah, I hope you guys have had a good week. I appreciate you being here. If you haven't listened to this week's episode yet, we got to go interview our buddy Dixon Deadman. Next we can get birds. Oh, that'd be fun. Went to go interview Dixon Deadman at his new office. Had a lot of fun with that conversation. If you haven't listened to it yet, please go do so after the stream, of course. Go check it out. It's a good time. Just really good to catch up with Dixon. I made a mistake in the episode. Yes, please hit all the mash buttons. Or all mash buttons, whatever. Yeah. Mash all them buttons. Like, subscribe if you haven't done so. But I made a mistake in that episode saying that I thought that I hadn't seen him since before the pandemic. I was wrong because I had completely forgotten that I had been to the Beaumont Inn with my dad and my brother in 2021, I believe, to celebrate my brother's engagement at the time. And we had a tasting with Dixon. 3 of us spent the night. It was a good time. It was a really good time. But that was the last time that I'd seen Dixon. So it hadn't been 5 years. It had been 4 years since I had seen him. So that's my one little addendum to this week's episode. So regardless, please go listen if you haven't done so. We don't just talk 2XO. We also talk a little bit of Kentucky Owl as well. So there's a little bit. There's some like juicy information about his time with Kentucky Owl and where things kind of ended for him as well. How he wrapped up his tenure there. Not in like a bad way, but just some of like the practices that he was having to engage in as a blender. It's very interesting. It's very. I don't want to spoil anything, so please go check it out. I hope you enjoy it. But anyway, let's get to pouring something. We're gonna start out because tonight's Turkey Night. Wild Turkey 101, because why the heck not? Why wouldn't we? And it seems like it's just going to be a quiet night, so we'll see what happens here. But I do appreciate you all showing up, showing out, being around. And I wanted to bring this up too. You can't really see this. I tried to get this to work on YouTube, and maybe it will next week. But I have the I have a Stream Elements bot running on Twitch that, instead of me having to like constantly say, oh, you can go to these links, you can go to those links to like support the show, and and also, of course, all the links are in the description below. But if you go to Twitch, if you're watching on Twitch, there's now a Stream Elements bot that runs with different different links. And like I said, hopefully I'll have this up and running on YouTube next week. I'm really not sure why it's not running. It's a little annoying. But anyway, just wanted to make the experience a little bit more integrated and helpful for people who watch on Twitch. And also, if you didn't know, I changed the handle, so it's no longer My Bourbon Gamer on Twitch. It is now My Bourbon Pod, so it's easier to find as well. If that is your viewing experience that you would like, twitch.tv/MyBourbonPod. All that is over there. Great way to support the show, too. But yeah, so hopefully next week I'll have the bot up and running in YouTube chat as well. So. But in the meantime, all the links are down below. It's also just been a stressful week. I'm tired. I know that's nothing new. You can set your clocks to hearing me go. I'm a little bit worn out. What's fun as well, we are actually interviewing Dave Jennings for next week's episode and talking about his Caleb's Crossing products, his bourbon and his rye. And I'm very excited about that. So I'm kind of in the turkey mindset, turkey mood. So I imagine we'll be talking turkey with him as well. But either way. Yeah, just seemed, yeah. Ooh. He sent these. He sent a sample of his. Not sure why that happened. Sent a sample of the bourbon and a sample of the rye. Hello, Jeffrey Wack. Good to see you. And we've had them for a little while. Just haven't gotten around to trying them. I wanted to try them while we were talking with him. Jeff, it is good to see you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. And I haven't even tried them from anybody's bottles yet. I don't even know if people have gotten bottles yet. But I appreciate Dave being interested in talking about it on the show, for sure. So we'll get there. But in the meantime, let's talk about what's going on in the world of bourbon. In the world of news. Also, next week, I want to have just a static, and it's not for giveaways or anything, but just so we can actively raise money for Eastern Kentucky next week, because as many of you all know, I'm sure there were. Any tips for this week's Matt Madness contestant? Don't overthink it. Don't train too much. Have fun with it. Don't watch my stream with any hopes that you will learn how to compete, because you just won't, my friend. No, that's not entirely true. I had a great time. Rely on your first instinct as well. Pay attention to what is the most, I would say, basic fundamentals of tasting whiskeys. And yeah, don't take it too seriously. Seriously. I love Matt Madness. The worst part about losing, other than the fact that, honestly, the worst part about losing is that you don't get to do it again. It bummed. I was talking about this with Eric on the way to interview Dixon. You just feel so sad that you don't get to do another round, even if like you had so much fun. It's like just a chance to get to treat it like Mario Kart. 100%. 100%. Madrasmus is back in the Twitch chat. Madrasmus, I am sorry. I can't bring up comments on screen for Twitch for whatever reason. I'm having connection issues, but it is good to see you, my friend. I think I have to reconnect my Twitch through StreamYard. But I see you. I see your comments, though. Kyle Whippert. Good to see you, brother. Nice to have you, Madrasmus. Kyle, good to see you, brother. Anyway, what I was going to say is next week, I'm going to have a just static QR code on screen for people to donate to Eastern Kentucky Mutual Aid, just trying to raise money as much as we can for flood and tornado relief. Tornado relief primarily, of course, just because that's what's... you're now 18 and you've become a man. That's amazing. Congratulations, Madrasmus. Happy birthday to you. Just because of how devastating these tornadoes have been, I'm not going to do like a giveaway or anything for it. I just want to have it available for people who want to support the people who are affected. So like I said, it's not going to really be like a formal fundraiser. I just next week, I ran out of time this week to get the QR code up. But next week, just if you see a random QR code, it's not random. There will be a purpose for it. So just be on the lookout for that. So anyway, no more drinking illegally. Madrasmus, I'm happy that you said that now. It's hilarious. But anyway, speaking of flooding, I want to talk real quick about Buffalo Trace auctioning off unicorn bottles for charity. As they are still recovering, and there are still a lot of people who are recovering from the flooding back in April, almost 2 months ago at this point, which is crazy. And the bottles that were included in this giveaway, I'm gonna see if we can. I'm just gonna accept the require. The bottles that are included in this auction are insane. At the moment, a bid for Weller Millennium sits at $10,000. It's wild. They got OFC 2006. There's like all of these different things that they've included in this auction. Why didn't it? Oh, it's just all on one. I apologize. But just very cool. And I've never seen Block Bar before, but apparently you can just straight up buy bottles from them too. But the items that are included in here, again, like this OFC and the Weller Millennium, incredible stuff. But, Whiskey Advocate did a little piece on it. I just kind of wanted to touch on this just because we've talked so much about the flooding and how incredibly devastating it's been. 10K, you know how much alcohol I can buy with that in Germany? A lot. A whole lot. And just, despite the fact that Buffalo Trace, of course, has been so affected by it as well, it's just very cool to see what they're doing. But anyway, moving on to Woodford Reserve introducing a new product, their Tawny Port finish for their distillery series. Still at their classic 90.4 proof. I've been like going back and forth on port finishing recently. Also, this is a 375, as they've been doing for the Tawny Port, or excuse me, for the distillery releases. Yeah, we have a Discord server for Patreon members. Yeah, you join the Patreon at any tier, and you have access to the Discord. Use your discretionary entertainment spending, though. Don't just, of course, because there's bonus content over there as well. But, Anyway. I've been going back and forth on whether or not I like port finishing with bourbons. It can be a very pleasant experience, or it can really just overpower the entire whiskey. And I don't like, I run so like hot and cold with it depending on my mood. Regardless, though, I'm curious about what this would look like, especially considering that Woodford is not necessarily like an overly, I don't mean to say flavor forward, because that's not correct. What I do mean, though, is like, it's not the boldest product on the market, so I would be curious just to see how much flavor would be imparted by the port. So I don't know. But coming from Elizabeth McCall, their master distiller, this expression highlights our ability to artfully blend rye and bourbon whiskey, as well as our approach to barrel experimentation. Is it a whiskey? It's not a bourbon? What? What the heck? Yeah, it is a bourbon and rye blend. I missed that somehow. Big Vic! What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. How are things? Where do I find the Discord server? I mean, you literally have to join like the Patreon as a member to get access to it. You did? What do you mean? Did you join as a free member? Free members don't have access. It's paid members. Sorry. Sorry, man. The Tawny Port barrels impart delicate notes of wood and concentrated fruit, which combined with the charred oak barrels allow us to create a rich, layered whiskey. Why you got to do this to me? It's just hey, man. It's not to you. I don't want to read through tasting notes, of course, because I don't want to know what it tastes like before I actually taste it. But it is, of course, going to be at their distillery, but it's also going to be in select Kentucky retailers, and it's available on their website for shipping to Kentucky, New Hampshire, North Dakota, Nebraska, and D.C. We've been on this roll recently of talking about brands that have been associated with sports. And now Rebel has hopped on board with something racing, I think. I feel like I remember seeing this earlier in the... Here it is. Yeah. With Richard Childress Racing and Kyle Busch. Imagine drinking whiskey and driving that NASCAR. Dude, no thank you. Richard Childress, there we go. I did not realize this. Apparently this is an ongoing partnership. But they're putting out a product specifically for this collaboration. Kyle Busch has a single barrel pick from them too. Is it any good? I'm curious. But it's 100 proof. It's finished in Cabernet Franc wine barrels. I've never had Cabernet Franc before. 4 years old. It's a little limited. 506 bottle cases and available at North Carolina ABC stores and at Lux Row Distillers with a suggested retail price of $40. Yeah. It's interesting. Kyle Busch 108 single barrel bourbon. There we go. Jason said, if you ain't first, you're last. Imagine Max Verstappen drinking whiskey, driving a Formula car. Amazing. Whew. Max Verstappen doesn't need anything added to his already egregious temperament. Forgot to X out of that. This has been an exciting week for New Riff fans. Real voice came out. Real accent came out. Real accent reveal. This has been an exciting week for New Riff fans. It comes with being European. It's a package deal. That's fair. But the High Note collection. We're talking Ricky Bobby, though. Pedal down and turn left. That is a good point. Max Verstappen is doing a lot more than just turning left these days. It's like Americans and Karens. With Dressmans. But for their High Note collection, they've released their first decade bourbon and their first decade rye, which are both coming out at 120.5 proof without chill filtration. MSRP of $90. They were released today to the masses. What happened to the people talking bad about Sweden? I don't know. What did happen to those people? And you can still get them by the pour at their tasting room in Newport as well. I don't know what these are like, just as far as quality-wise, but I am so curious about them. I might have to see if I can get just samples of them for review. It's one of those products, and you know we waited for a long time with Wilderness Trail for them to come out with older product, and we of course we're getting some age-dated product as well with New Riff, but we weren't always getting like older product with New Riff that was necessarily that wasn't their distillate at times, or even like their core expressions of bourbon or rye. So this is just a very, very exciting proposition that they've given us, especially just knowing that they do have stock that is this old, and hopefully we will see more of it in the coming future. So we shall see. Speaking of Dixon, Deadman, of course. Why is it? Wait, is it a video? That's weird. Apparently we have. I don't want to play the audio though. Can I just pause it? If I click on it, I think it worked. No, sorry, Madrasmus. The guy who makes this whiskey, his name is Dixon Deadman. He's a friend of the show, and I had an episode with him come out this week. Continuing with the Oak series, they've got a rye whiskey coming out. It's their first rye whiskey in 2XO. It's a white oak rye, so it's a rye finished in white oak, 92 proof. I'm very excited to see what this is like. I didn't have a sneak preview or anything of it. I'll tell you right up front. I I was kind of caught off guard by this when it came out, especially the fact that this was posted, what was this, 4 days ago? So Sunday, and I saw the man 2 days before it was posted, and he never mentioned anything about it. So, oh well. But either way, exciting. I like this more affordable product line coming from 2XO. These are like $50 a bottle, as opposed to the Icon series, which is, $90, and then the Gem being the single barrels being $200. I think these still have their merits within the pantheon of their product line. So I'm looking forward to it. There was also another release this week. This dropped today from Old Commonwealth, and I wanted to take a second to not rag on Old Commonwealth for what they did with DH Cromwell, but it just kind of like confused me almost, because this is a revival brand. And most of what Old Commonwealth does, if not all of what they do, is revive brands, right? And what we have here is, of course, as I said, a revival brand that originally retailed for $60. Why do I know that it was $60 originally? It's because when they sent out their media, I say media release, but it was really just like letting people know who were signed up for their email blasts, that of the history of this brand. And as soon as they were like, okay, we're going to tell you about what this brand was when it was first imagined, when it was first out. And next week you're going to get the email saying when it's going to be released and how much it's going to be. And then they put out the next email and it was like, what, $150 a bottle or $200 or something? And I was like, they're never going to put out a $60 bottle that's 15 years old, right? Like, it's just unheard of in this current market, in this current climate. I get it. But I just was, it was just a strange thing to bring up and then immediately go, yeah, never mind. It just confused me. That's all. But for those of you who might have participated in the drop or were curious about it, you could also get their it's honey finished bourbon, I think, Kentucky Nectar, batch 3, and they also had a single barrel offering up as well. So hope you got it. I haven't had anything from Commonwealth yet. I've been very curious about it since all of this kind of came about. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how these products have shaped up, especially as a revival brand. We're seeing now the first information come out about Jim Beam's distiller share, 230th anniversary bourbon. This product looks awesome. I'm very, very excited for this. 20% 20-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon, 10% 11-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon, 30% 9-year-old brown rice bourbon, and 40%-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon. Got to be out this summer. 115 proof. So bare minimum 7-year-old bourbon all the way up to 20-year. That's about as much information as we have. I love the nectar. It's a summer crusher. I need to try it sometime. I'm just curious, man. Yeah, I'm excited for this. These are 375s. I just always want more of these like distillery only releases that are, they don't always have to be full bottles. I like when there's something that's a little bit more like packable too. Just cool. I always appreciate when these things happen. So, and moving on to the last bit of news I wanted to talk about, which I think everybody kind of knew about already, but I wanted to I wanted to touch on these just for a second. Jake Miller, Beam ages Okie to so 20 years will be a thick pour. Absolutely. I cannot wait for it. Jake, I hope you're doing well. Very good to see you. So we have two new labels that showed up this week as Sazerac barrel picks. And the first one, well, really, which one was the first one? The first one was the Hancock's Reserve at, what is it, 89 proof or 88.9 proof. And these have historically really only been picks, right? But they've only been for like select accounts, select stores. Like Liquor Barn in Kentucky is really the only place that I've known. Hold on. That has gotten it. Even though, like somebody said, nice Total Wine exclusive in Florida. So I don't know. Like, it seems like there's just a lot more. It seems like people are a little mixed on the reception to this. Hancock's is mid. I mean, it's not my favorite. I don't really like. I don't jump over. What's the phrase? I don't flip over backwards, bend over backwards. I don't do backflips, I think is what I'm trying to say. For it. It doesn't move me in any particular way. And it is, mash bill 2. But I'm like, if I'm not mistaken, so is Rock Hill Farm as well. Right? Yeah. Blanton's Gold Store Picks rebranded. Rock Hill Farm is single barrel already. I just like, and so many people saying like, well, I've never found it or I haven't seen it in years. And like, this goes to my point that I was making. Rock Hill Farms is where it's at when it comes to Mash Bill 2. I completely agree. Of all of the Mash Bill 2 products, Rock Hill Farms is easily my favorite. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it's at 100 proof. The point that I want to make here, though, is this goes back to what I was talking about. Was it last week? I don't remember. I don't know, last week or the week before, when we found out about E.H. Taylor being added to the antique collection lineup. And saying like, oh, well, this is now the third Mash Bill 1 product that Buffalo Trace has. Why haven't they done anything with Mash Bill 2? And, thinking like, oh, well, maybe they just don't have enough Mash Bill 2 to justify another product in the line. Maybe they're really focused on Mash Bill 1. And I don't even know if like this is an indication that they have a surplus of Mash Bill 2 product aging. I think what it really is just offering more products for people to pick from at different price points. But also these Buffalo Trace branded store picks lately have all been Mash Bill 2. You mean like Blanton's Gold and... I think I see what you're saying, Kyle. How did that show up in the... I want to see where it cut off since I had the... Where would it go if... Yeah, okay. I like that it automatically formats that. Oh, no, but then it gets rid of the chat. Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare have not been in my state since 2019. But reverse FOMO made me a Maker's Mark fanboy. Never understand the exclusivity model. I think that's completely fair. I mean, like, that's kind of what happens when you have things available to you, like, or when you don't have things available to you, and then you find things that you do really like, in terms of like Knob Creek or Wild Turkey, and specifically BT, really. Like, Buffalo Trace store picks have been mash bill too. I did not know that. Why? Maybe they did have a surplus of mash bill too. So again, that kind of like begs the question, why did they not consider putting a mash bill 2 product in the antique collection lineup? They're not hurting for it. And I do think that this is really just to give people a variety to pick from when it comes to their store picks or their group picks. But what are they doing? What are they doing? It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me logistically. But then again, Buffalo Trace has never really been one to, have any kind of reason to their operations. So I don't know. It's just kind of like my initial thoughts, my speculation on it. We'll see. No surplus anymore after the warehouse damage. It's weird. They're also attempting to bring back Elmer picks, but that's a whole thing as well. I don't know if I see Elmer picks coming back anytime soon. I say that, but then I like my immediate, the reason that I said that, because my immediate reasoning was they don't have Elmer on the shelf anyway, but they also don't have Rock Hill Farms on the shelf anyway. So what the heck is the point? What's the justification? There is none. There's nothing. There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. Like, those BT picks would sell so fast in an Elmer glass. They absolutely would. But why is Elmer not just... Is it still a distribution problem? Are we still having this much of an issue with distribution of bourbon? And is it still just like a Kentucky issue? I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But and Kyle, you do bring up a really good point. Like, why not just make them Elmer picks? They would make more money for Buffalo Trace. It's roughly the same price, or excuse me, proof point. It's not like they're doing a whole lot to like shove them on shelves. By the time they get to the store, it's probably going in a spot where people are like going to actively pick them up and take them directly to the register anyway. Maybe they offer more of one mash bill for picks at different times in the year. There's a good... I mean, I don't see why that's a bad... That's not a bad idea, honestly. Or a bad input. I just don't know. I don't know. I bet this is a way to shift all BT branded picks as Mash Bill 1, and these will supplement those Mash Bill 2 picks. Very likely. But isn't there a part of it that feels... It's not even like a money grab. I think these state-run liquors liquor laws in some places make the liquor hard to get to the shelf. Also true. I don't know. I think I'm still stewing on, like, they offer more of one mash bill for picks at a different time in the year. Because imagine, like, oh, we're just offering the weeded mash bill, but it's got to be a Buffalo Trace product, or it's got to be a Buffalo Trace pick. We've only got mash bill 2. It's got to be Weller foolproof. I'm like, what do you mean? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, this is a product that's going to be implemented in, like, it's going to be sometime over the next year. This isn't going to be like next month that we start seeing Rock Hill Farms and Hancock's Reserve as, like, picks across the board. If we even do see them, I mean, who's to say? It could be, like, just for groups, and then by the time they get to be for these groups, what we see is these bottles on secondary. Like, honestly, I don't even fully know what is going to happen with this. My state gets all the Weller, and the state over gets the Buffalo Trace. If they know where it sells, why change? Expand their market, I guess. More money to be made. I mean, that's my like very bloodless, like, cold reading of that situation. Like, they're just trying to make money. They are a business, they are a corporation, they are trying to get as many dollars as possible. And if they see that something is working in one market, or they have the potential for something to work in one market, they move, product to as many places as possible. Looking forward to Hancock's foolproof picks in 10 years. I'm really good at offering up not too bad input. All right. Let's drink some more bourbon. Man, I tell you, being a Turkey 101 head, it has been difficult to stay away from this 8-year 101, this new release. I really hope it starts to, trickle in a little bit more. But so I've got some of this old 8-year 101 that I want to compare it to. And of course, there's going to be obvious differences. How they fermented it, the tanks that it was in. Don't they change what you can sign up? Don't they change what you can sign up with the single barrel select programs? I can't recall specifics, but I feel like they offer different products at different times for that. They do. And I mean, like, I have it set so that, because I don't really care. And I have, friends at stores that are always going to be like, well, if it's, a Sazerac product, we may as well, like, jump on it. So I've always got it set at, like, I'm ready for a pick. So, I have my top preferences. Like, I'd rather do, like, a stag pick. I'd rather do, Weller foolproof, things like that. And yes, the rest of this 8-year 101 that I had was in a mason jar, because it was originally in a decanter and the cork broke or something. I don't remember exactly. think I bought it from my buddy Travis, if I remember correctly. But I just finished this off. I've had this for a long time. It's been sealed very tight. Yeah. But anyway, like sometimes it'll show up as, you know, oh, we're offering Blanton's and we're offering Weller and we're offering, you know, just regular Buffalo Trace. But other times it's like, oh, we've got Caribou Crossing now. And we've got, you know, like just these different random offerings. And it's like, well, you know, I'll basically take whatever. It doesn't really bother me that much. And I know that stores around here where I know people who will do the purchasing will be happy with basically whatever they get. As long as we get to have like TIMBP input on it. So yeah, that's kind of, I don't think too much about it. Still looking for Jefferson's Reserve, yes. But I here's my honest. Here's the when I say looking for, I'm also not like doing a whole lot of active searching right now, Emily. Bills have been crazy recently. If you have some and you know where some is and you're able to hold on to it, please do. And I like in 2 weeks I'll be able to grab some. But I appreciate you looking out. Caribou Crossing straight from the barrel would be the funniest pick ever. That would be hilarious. And I've also, on top of my 8-year 101 old school, I've got these samples that I believe were from Don Nishida of old school Turkey 101. I'll move my mouse over here. It's bumping into these glasses. One of them, which I just finished, and I hope this focuses. It's from 1992. And the other one is 1993. My birth year. And then our buddy David Levine from the Whiskey Ring podcast a couple years ago helped me locate a bottle of Wild Turkey Tradition, which is also 101 proof, from the year of my birth. And I've got a little bit of that left too. I've kept one selection, Weller 12. It was available once and it's still on the top of my list. Maybe I'll get lucky one day. That would be awesome. A Weller 12 pick would go so crazy. Hey, Zopher. Good to see you, my friend. Are you double watching on Twitch? I think you are. Twitch and YouTube, which I appreciate. I don't have any, but I may know someone. Okay. We'll chat. I appreciate it. Someone should name a darker flavored barrel pick chocolate wasted from Grown Ups. That's hilarious. If I ever get to do a pick and I have the input enough for the name and it's chocolate forward, chocolate wasted is a great name for it. All right. I'm here, I'm there. Let's start with the modern 8-year 101. Which I still think it's just one of the best things to come out this year. Please don't sue me. It's ridiculously good. Just bought a smoking cocktail kit for some friends I'm seeing this weekend. Gonna be having lots of smoky old fashions for this long weekend. That sounds awesome. This year has been strange release-wise, so I'd agree. I think it's been a good year so far. I think we've had a strong year of releases. I will be honest with you. But I do think that the 8-year 101 is a very strong contender for one of the best releases that's come out so far this year. In all honesty. All right, and now we're just going to work our way up from oldest to, I say youngest, but, 93. 93 is not so young anymore. I'm not even saying I'm old. I'm just saying it's not like, I know spring chicken. My knees creak and crack. 1980. This has kept so unbelievably well. Like, it smells almost as fresh. Oh my gosh, it might be identical. I'm not even joking. It doesn't have that funk to it. I think being in the mason jar has helped it mellow out enough. It's helped it like just remove some of that dusty funk. Something's going on. Let's see. Bruce and Eddie used your mason jar as a reference for blending this batch. It's pretty daggum close, man. I'm You and Clifton are babies. Hush. I know. Here's what I'll say about the 1980 Turkey 101. It's slightly darker. It's got more of a chocolate note to it. Like it's much more milk chocolatey. Whittle wee lads. Whittle wee lads. Just to make sure I haven't gone nose blind, let me. It's they're so close to each other. I mean, I would not be surprised if they had some like reference from this area that had just been extremely well preserved, excuse me. And they were like, if we can nail this, we're going to have an absolute winner on our hands. And again, like the major difference is this, it's almost like real sugar chocolate, you know what I mean? Like not American chocolate, more like something, you know what it really reminds me of? If you've ever had a Ritter Sport chocolate, hopefully people know what I'm talking about. Hang on. These guys, it honestly tastes a little hazelnutty too. if you've ever had the one with cornflakes, you know what's up. And I'm not just saying this because my name's on it, because I obviously have nothing to do with this. But I'm sure it has, like, there's some familial tie to Ritter Sport chocolate somewhere down the line. Milk chocolate with crunchy salted caramel. Ew, Cocos? Cocos. Sorry, I don't mean to turn into the snack stream again. Shout out to Bruce for wanting to bring back the Dusty Turkey profile. Dude, it 100%, it feels more like Dusty Turkey. And honestly, if that's what he's done and that's what he's focused on, I'm so here for it. I'm so here for it. Also, my grays are really showing up on camera tonight. Hold on, let me do the zoom. You see this? Those are grays, man. I'm getting a little old. All right, let's try 1992. Turkey 101. Now that's Dusty Turkey. That's more of the Dusty Turkey profile that I was expecting to have pop up with the 1980, in all honesty. Little flat on the palate. It's very much got that dusty funk on the back end, though. Going back to this year's release, I think it's got more punch. I think it's got more oomph to it. Putting my water bottle in a different spot. I noticed Dusty Pours are more oily texture-wise at lower proofs than new stuff. Something changed and it was not just age. I think, Jake, what you are seeing is specifically the change in distillation proof. Distillation proof, right? I think that's what it is. Or barrel entry proof, basically just how much water is added in general. Because largely entry proof, there we go. That's really what I'm talking about. Because the less water that they're adding, the more like true experience you're going to get from the intention of the whiskey, right? So the point that I'm really is at large here is because in today's climate, in today's market, we have a lot more drive, a lot more motive for people to consume and to purchase and consume higher proof products. So it's easier for distilleries to make product at a higher proof because that's going to be, not a bulk of their product, but they are still going to, be producing or putting out product that is at 80 proof and 90 proof, but it's also going to be at, 125, 130, so on and so on. So if it's going to be the same mash bill, they may as well just make everything at one entry proof, one, coming off the still at the same proof and everything. So even if it, even if it's the same mash bill and everything, the process is largely the same. If that barrel entry proof has changed so that you can have a higher proof product going into the bottle, with these barrel proof products, then yeah, the mouthfeel, the texture is going to be significantly different than it was when we had a lower entry proof than we do what we have now. And I think that this is something that Dave Jennings has talked about specifically with Wild Turkey too, that in the early 2000s, 90s or 2000s, Turkey increased their barrel entry proof, if I'm not mistaken. So it happens, man. It happens and has happened and will probably continue to happen if everybody is continuing to be interested in higher proof products. And I mean, I am too. It's not like I'm going, I want everything to be low proof. Michter's is the closest we have to modern dusty whiskey. I think that's a very good estimation of, who's putting out classic product on the market. Yeah. Barrel entry wise. Yeah. All right. 1993. I hope it's not just because I'm biased because it's the year I was born, but this has maybe the best nose on it. Did I say something offensive? Everybody left all of a sudden. Where did everybody go? What happened? That is crazy good. Oh my goodness. That's delicious. Dadgummit. I tend to go to Japanese whiskey for more full low proof pours because they can't bottle past 45%. Then how do you explain Nika from the barrel? Surely, I feel like I've had plenty of Japanese whiskey that's higher than 90 proof. I don't know if that's true, my friend. Hold on. Be higher than 90 proof. Nika isn't distilled in Japan, but I don't think that's true either. Wait, really? I have to... You know what, Jake? You are more of an expert on this than I am. 99% of it is imported Scotch? Bro. My mind is being blown tonight. All right, we're going to have a Japanese whiskey expert on the on the show. That'd be a fun stream. There was a ban imposed by Scotland for a while, and a lot of Japanese whiskey was built to be under for a while. The Japanese distillery learned how to go low proof and make good product. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna find a Japanese whiskey expert, and they're gonna take me to school because I don't know anything. Truth be told, about Japanese whiskey, and I need to learn. The ban was loosed, but Japan learned low proof. What? But Japan learned low proof. I think I see what you're saying there. Sorry. Hang on. They've been shifting to Japanese mode. That's a really funny sentence. Wait, hang on. Daniel Whittington had a video about it a long time ago. They've been shifting to Japanese mode, but that's caused an insane price hike, and the age-stated products basically disappeared for 3 years. Interesting. I'm having another sip of the 93. It's just so good. They really went hard. They really, really went hard on trying to replicate the Dusty profile or the old school Wild Turkey profile when it comes to the new 8-year, good Lord, 8-year 101 release. And I think by and large, they truly, truly succeeded. I think they did an incredible job of it. Are there other products here that I might have a little bit of a preference for? I mean, like one. I think that the 8-year, this 8-year now is just such an embarrassment of riches that it's hard to find so much. It's hard to find a lot of fault in it when we've been begging for it for so long, and it really is just an incredibly well balanced and fruitful bourbon. There was a time in Japan. Japan made the best scotch, and Scotland hammered down on them for it. Hey man, Japan's been hammered down on a lot. Okay. Leave Japan alone. Did you know we wrote their constitution? The more I did it the wrong way, the more you know. It's my fun fact of the day. That and that Sorry. My other fun fact of the day. I don't know how many people know this, but Fall Out Boy had a cover of Michael Jackson's Beat It in like 2009, 2008, 2009, something like that. Of the few people who are still in here, does anybody remember that cover or know that that cover exists? And if so, do you know who plays the guitar solo on it? Because Eddie Van Halen played the guitar solo on the original. Yes, best Michael Jackson cover was Alien Ant Farm. 100%. No Googling allowed. No Googling allowed of who of the Michael Jackson the Fall Out Boy Beat It cover. Come on. Somebody's got him. Fall Out Boy was actually good at one time. Yeah, what happened, man? Nobody? Okay. Brace yourselves. John Mayer. John Mayer played the guitar solo on the I'm going to get clapped so hard by YouTube if I play this. I can't play it. I mean, he is, don't get me wrong. He's incredible. He's one of, I mean, I've said it before, I'll say it again. He's one of my absolute favorites. He inspired so much of my songwriting and so much of my guitar playing. It's just so funny, like, he's the last person that you would imagine would play a guitar solo similar to that of Eddie Van Halen on a Michael Jackson cover song from Fall Out Boy during that era. And I want so badly to play just the guitar solo for you all, like for you all to, like, I mean, not me play it because I can't, like, it's an Eddie Van Halen style guitar solo, but just for you all to hear it, like, play it on YouTube or whatever. But YouTube would absolutely clap me. The entire scene in pop punk funding went to Taylor Swift / Bieber, so Fall Out Boy and all the other bands were forgotten. I mean, here's the thing about Fall Out Boy, though. Fall Out Boy is like so surface level scene that it was really hard during that era for more pop punk, more scene to really push through into the mainstream in the way that Fall Out Boy could have actually. And I think you're right in that estimation, Jake. They were almost, if there was a little bit more attention made, and if Fall Out Boy had just a slight bit more of a following, and people were more interested in that style of music, then they could have easily counteracted, like, the funding for marketing and everything that went to people like Taylor Swift and Justin Bieber. All that being said, though, there is still so much of a following for emo and for pop punk and for scene music now. And it's just, Fall Out Boy was a victim of, like, they just fit into that era so well, and people were like, oh, I really like this, but they weren't curious enough past that. I feel like I actually hate Mayer's music, but he's so dang talented, it doesn't shock me. I still think about him on Chappelle's Show. Play the fight riff, John. Oh, man, I love John Mayer. Is just such a weird anomaly of, like, he's fluid in his guitar talent. I like his songwriting. This is a conversation for a different time, Kyle, especially if it's like, talk about, like, his later songwriting, especially, post when he had his granuloma, when he couldn't sing for like 2 years or whatever it was, when he started writing more like Crosby, Stills and Nash and Bob Dylan and that kind of stuff. Why can't I click on that? Hang on. Oh, that's gonna... I can totally play that. I think Mayer's music has a lot more value to it now than a lot of people think it didn't back then. I appreciate his oeuvre. I like John Mayer. That's just how it is. Hang on. Let me pause this. Emily, I appreciate that you took the time to find this, because yeah, I was able to pull it up. Fall Out Boy and Panic were the entry level scene bands for a lot of people our age range. Oh, for sure. For sure. Okay. So this is somebody covering the John Mayer Fall Out Boy guitar solo. I think I unmuted it. But oh my gosh. I'm so excited for you all to hear this. Bro. Oh, that solo is so good. It's so not. It's so in and of itself kind of John Mayer, but also very much in the style of Eddie Van Halen. Oh, it's good, man. It's good. Lots of Guitar Hero missed note noises, but close enough. Welcome back, Michael Jackson. I mean, I'm still probably gonna get a copyright, hey, this kind of sounded like the Fall Out Boy Michael Jackson Beat It cover, so you do whatever you need to with it. You can cut it out of your stream. But real ones were here for it, I just checked was short and play clean. Fair enough. Just trolling, it was great. Papa Ritter's here too. There's this band I like called the Rolling Stones. If you've heard of them, you should listen. You should listen to the Rolling Stones. They're very good. They're fronted by corpses, but they're still good. I like the Rolling Stones. $1992 turkey, good. 1993 turkey, fantastic. $1980 turkey, gotten worse the longer it's been exposed to air. Sup, dudes? Sean Holgrave, good to see you. They're listened to by corpses as well. That's not true. The entire scene era fell apart because labels had to deal with college-age kids who were too immature to handle fame. MCR was another one. That is a good take. I think that's a really good take. My hair's being weird tonight. I don't get it. Maybe it's because I showered literally 30 minutes before I had to get on. I should have more turkey. Oh, and started to smell like the cow got into an onion patch. Nice thing about the 1993 turkey, I still got a little bit left. So I guess I know what Eric and I are drinking tomorrow for recording. Oh, This was a nice little experiment. I really enjoyed like just trying this against what it was trying to emulate as well. Is Pedro there? Pedro's out doing sick jumps on my bike. I think I'm gonna have some more turkey. Oh, you know what I wanted to have? How much of this do I have left? I better save a little bit of that. Oh. All right. Is this considered a Dusty at this point? Because they've changed their label. Somebody can give me a ride into town. I haven't had Rare Breed in a minute. And as you can tell, I haven't bought a bottle in a minute either. And I've got my infinity bottle of Rare Breed around here. Why did I make an infinity bottle of Rare Breed? I don't know. But I did. What I was going to drink is some of the Bluegrass Distillers Elwood Reserve. Buff turkey. You know that thing everybody likes to say is wild turkey, but isn't actually. Buffalo Trace distilled wild turkey. Oh, Rare Breed. I need Rare Breed rye soon. I think I have a little bit of my bottle left. Not a lot, but enough. Oh, man. Maker's Mark distilled wild turkey. I would be very interested in how that looked. Because I don't know if Maker's Mark has ever run a still that's had rye on it. I think it's always been, a wheated mash bill. I would try it. Hey. I'd try it. Just to see what it's like. Hang on, I need to fix my mic real quick. Should be better. I think. It was just wobbly. Yeah, I don't know when the last time I had Rare Breed was. No, it would be incredibly cool. They would have to do some serious cleaning on their stills. And I mean, we wouldn't see it for 8 years. But Rare Breed's really good. Whew, LLKK. 2022. This bottle's from 2022? Lord of mercy. Why have I held on to it for so long? It's Rare Breed. You think you have Rare Breed there? Well, have some Rare Breed. Rare Breed, one of the best 116.8 proof bourbons on the market. Might also be the only 16.8 proof bourbons on the market, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It's good. That bottle might have been at another location. This one, no, I mean this one, no, because this one I just picked up from next to me, which means that it's been here for a little. Well, it was at a different location for a little while. I'll say that much. Another location that that's what I didn't talk about at the beginning of the episode. Y'all remember that back in 2023 when Lucy and I were in between houses, I lived for a couple of months in my grandparents' old house. And with the storms that happened on Friday, a tree fell on that house. And can I scroll through? Yeah, here we go. And it was real bad. It was real bad. Really, really not good. I mean, like, holy moly. Basically just destroyed the interior of this room. When Lucy and I were, here's one of the bathrooms so you can see me in there. When Lucy and I were staying at this house, this is the bedroom that we slept in. And it is a good thing that we were not sleeping in this room when this happened, because it would have been a little catastrophic, I'll say that much. Yeah, there's Dane, too, with my brother. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's the diner. Oh, and there's something for that Eric and I are gonna drink on tomorrow. No, we appreciate it, Emily. It's nobody was injured, nobody was hurt. Just a lot of damage to this house that thankfully nobody is living in. It's really a pain more than anything. And it will be a lot of work to get it repaired. But, like the tree's not on there, of course, anymore. So, anyway. Yeah. Dane and I went over there Saturday. It's about 30 minutes out of Lexington. Oh, good. The dining room's gotten worse. Lovely. Dane and I went over there on Saturday after it happened, and we brought Dad some Wendy's, and we all had a beer together. And that was nice. Just, trying to collect ourselves, I suppose. It was something. What a time has been had. And if y'all remember, too, Mama and Papa Ritter a couple years ago had a tree fall on their house. Beer was a little bit older, but it was still good. We didn't have any problem with it. But anyway, yeah, everybody's fine. Everybody's safe. It's just, yeah. The house will need a lot of work. The house, unfortunately, is not in the condition that it was many years prior. But, houses change. People change. That's how it goes, That being said, though, everything's all right. I think I am actually going to pour a little bit of the buff turkey. Buff. I do every time I say buff turkey, I do imagine stop jumping in front of trees. Why was your house precariously placed underneath that tree? How dare you build next to a tree? Every time I say buff turkey, though, I do imagine just an incredibly ripped turkey. Oh, Clifton's not live tonight. He's on his cruise. So this is from Bluegrass Distillers. This is some of the Buffalo Trace distilled wild turkey. 113 proof, 15 years old. My light is flickering. That's good. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Oh, I haven't had this in so long. Oh, Dad, you've had this. You had this when I first reviewed it. I mean, it's been many moons, but I'll save what I can. I don't have much left. It's hard to save. No Cliffy Bus off-road tonight, but Marty on, possibly Cam. I figured. Oh, it's all good, buddy. It's just 15-year-old bourbon, whatever. I was mostly just reminding you that you've had it. More than anything. That being said, though, I've had it. No, I've had fun. I've had fun is what I mean. And it's been a fun stream, and I appreciate you all hanging out tonight. And we'll be back next week. Doing I don't know what on the 29th of May as we start to close out the month. But we appreciate you all as always. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for being here. Head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. Happy Memorial Day weekend. Yes, I will still be working on Monday. I have no time off because that's how my contract works. Cheers, y'all. Stay hydrated. Indeed, stay hydrated. We'll see you so super daggum soon. Be kind to one another. Be kind to yourself. All that good stuff. You know. I love you. Follow the show at my Bourbon Pod. Get some merch. Bourbonshop.threadless.com. And I think that does it. See you real soon. Until next time, though, I'm Perry. This is TIMBP Live. Bye.